Hi, everybody, and welcome to the end of February. Last month, I made kind of like a wrap-up vlog where I talked about some of the things throughout the month that didn't have entire videos dedicated to them, and I thought that was a fun format, so I'm going to do it again this month for February. So I've got a list of some things here that I want to talk about. Some of them are just stories, some of them I've got photos, and I think I may have a few video clips as well. But let's jump into it and give you a little taste of some of the stuff that happened in February that I didn't devote entire vlogs to. The first thing is that Mal and I finished watching Invisible Man. Mal and I have watched many different shows over the years, and usually we'll dedicate an entire video to, a recap of the show, sometimes seasons. And the most recent show that we had finished was The Pretender. It was a show from the early 2000s that Mal really enjoyed. And there was another show from around the same time that she had wanted to watch again, and that was Invisible Man. Invisible Man is a show that ran on the Sci-Fi Network in the early 2000s, and it feels like it ran on the Sci-Fi Network. Like, it definitely wasn't primetime television. There's a feeling to it that's like, this is like a little B-movie-esque, but it was fun. It's only 2 seasons, and it's actually available to watch in its entirety for free on the Roku app, so you can download the Roku app and actually watch it if you want. It was fun. It's about this guy who can turn invisible. I'll keep it at that. But there's a lot of humor in the show, and it was fun to watch it with Mal. And specifically, it was fun to be able to connect on this thing that, I've known for a long time that she really enjoyed, but I've never had a chance to see, so that was fun. If you want to talk about Invisible Man in the comments of this video, feel free. We also did Valentine's Day. I know I released a video where we cooked together, but that was not Valentine's Day proper. Closer to Valentine's Day proper. I think we didn't do it on the actual day. I think we did it the day before. We did go out to dinner. So we went out and had like some nicer food. I think we had maybe a dessert that I can't remember. Oh no! But one of the things that I did is that I got Mal some flowers. I got her like a card. We always get each other cards. I got her some candy, but then I also got her a Switch copy of Wingspan because Mal really enjoys the board game Wingspan, and it's great, but you have to have other people to play it with. So it's something that we don't get a chance to do all the time, and I figured having a digital copy of it would allow her to play the game at her leisure. If she really wants to play Wingspan, she could play it solo against CPU. So I thought that was a fun gift. Every once in a while there will be good transitions from board or card games to video games. Apparently Wingspan is one of them, which is good. Another one that I've always really liked is Ascension, the card game. That made a very good crossover into the digital world. So if you ever pick that up for iOS or something, it's very well done. The other thing that we did on Valentine's Day is, I think it's when we started, I don't remember. We started playing Disco Elysium. This is a game that Mal and I had started playing years ago, got a little bit into it, and then things happened, we got distracted, we never got back into it. It's a game that I've been thinking about, really wanted to try and play again, so Mal and I have been playing it almost every evening since we started it, I think around maybe Valentine's Day. It's fantastic. It's very, very good. It's not for everyone, but it's really, really wonderful. I did the first 20 of it a few years ago, and I could tell then that I would like it. It's not the style of game that I would ever, I think, bring to the channel. It has a fair bit of mature elements to it, but it's very, very enjoyable. It's hilariously funny. It's got a lot of dark comedic elements, and it's highly recommended. We're playing it on the Switch. I would not recommend playing it on the Switch because it crashes. It crashes at least once every playthrough. Every night, if we play for like 60 to 90 minutes, there's a reasonable chance it will crash. So if you're gonna play it on the Switch, just quick save a lot because there's a good chance it's gonna crash. I do hate that, but the convenience of playing on the Switch on the television is worth it. So we've been working through that. Halfway through February, I went back to Myrtle Beach because I wanted to visit with family. I'm going to be going back to Myrtle Beach again, but I'm going back to Myrtle Beach for reasons that are going to not give me a lot of time to spend with my family. And I'll talk about that soon. So I wanted to go ahead of time to actually spend some time with them, and it was fun. It was fun to hang out with them. Anytime I go back home, there's always like some tech stuff to sort out for them. So I was helping them with various things, and one of the things was that I brought them they had Mal's old iMac, and because I'm now using the Mac Mini, I brought them my old iMac because it's 5 years newer, and I want to make sure that they can continue to get software updates. So I got that all set up for them. I got everything going good, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then it was time to hook up their printer, which is very old. And I tried so many things, and I could not get it working. It was already a struggle to get that printer working with Mal's iMac. Like, I had to do some funky file editing to get it to work then. But this time, I just could not get it working with macOS Sequoia at all. And my parents were like, this is a very old printer. They're like, is it just time to get a new printer? And I'm like, yeah, it's time to get a new printer. So we went to the store, and I had to like learn about printers very, very quickly. But I found something that would work for them, and I got it all set up. And ultimately, it's I think a better printer for them, because finally they have the ability to print from their phones, which they didn't before. And then also, printer technology has changed a lot. So the printer that they got, I think it's called Megatank. It's a Canon, right? Was it Canon? I think it was Canon. Megatank. And you have these, they're not cartridges, they're like big ink tanks. And you put the ink tank into the printer, and it drains all of the ink into the printer. And actually on theirs, you can see the reservoir on the front where the ink goes. It's a ridiculous amount of ink. It's so much so that the ink that comes with the printer, it says on the box or in the manual or something, it's like, we guarantee that this will be enough ink for you for 2 years. And I'm like, my parents don't even print that much stuff, so this will probably be enough ink for them for a very, very long time. So I didn't know that technology existed. That's very, very cool. I'm used to printers taking the little cartridges. If you have like a cheaper printer, they'll have like all of the colors on one, which is terrible because if you run out of yellow and only yellow, you have to replace all of them. But now it's like, you know, I'm sure other companies other than Canon have this too, but it's neat. It's just really cool. I had never seen anything like that, so I wanted to talk about it. And then the other thing that I did is I brought back a bunch of stuff from my parents' house. Mal had a bunch of her teaching stuff that has just been sitting there for years, and I brought all that back for her so she could start going through it. There's some stuff she wanted to keep, but a lot of it's just like needs to be gone through to, you know, get rid of a lot of things because we've been holding on to it, you know, for almost a decade at this point. Mal quit teaching like almost 9 years ago, so it's been a while. And then I also brought back some old computers. Obviously, I brought back Mal's iMac. She wants to gut it and turn it into a screen, so that might be a video in the future. I brought back an old MacBook Pro, which my parents were using as their personal computer before we had Mal's iMac set up. And then I also brought back 2 old PCs, like an HP and a Gateway that are very old. And I haven't hooked them up yet, but I'm very excited to do so and find out what's on them because I have no idea. Over the years, I've tried to back things up, but in my youth, like up until college maybe, I wasn't like keeping those backups, like moving them forward. They got backed up onto maybe a disk, and the disk is somewhere. So I don't know what's on the actual hard drives, but the hard drives are in the computers, so I'm very interested to get those turned on, assuming they turn on, and find out what's on them. So if there's something interesting, I'll definitely be bringing that to the vlog in some capacity. Other things that happened. Shortly after I got back from Myrtle Beach, it snowed again. So that was the third time it has snowed this year. And as a reminder, we've lived here for 3 years and it hasn't snowed until this year. So it's very, very strange, but we've gotten all of the snow all at once, 3 times. I also had to take the car in for 60-month maintenance. And I'm mentioning that mostly because, holy cow, we've had the car for 5 years. It was 5 years this month that we got the Subaru. It's been a great vehicle. I've really, really enjoyed owning it. We are just shy of 50,000 miles. Not a ton of miles on that car for owning it for 5 years. I mean, we did buy it literally like 1 month before the pandemic started, so we weren't going a lot of places. But even now, like with working from home, we don't use the car as much as maybe an average American would. So I suspect that we're probably going to have the car for a very long time. While I was having the maintenance done, I took my Switch and I was playing more Advance Wars. I know that I've talked a little bit about it, but I've been playing Advance Wars for quite a while now. I've slowed down on playing it a little bit, and I think it's because I'm near the end. I've put a lot of time into the Switch remake, and I've been really enjoying myself. I think I'm closing in on like 300 hours put into the game, and basically I'm just like any possible thing you can do in the game, I'm doing it and trying to S rank it. So I'm just going through the whole thing and trying to basically do everything you can possibly do. At some point, I might do a video dedicated to that, maybe. But I've continued to have a lot of fun with it. There's only a few more War Room missions, and then I'll be actually done. Everyone's been asking me, they're like, "How is there anything left to do?" I was like, "Oh, it's got a lot of missions. There's a lot of things to accomplish." Another bullet point on here, and we talked about this on Breakfast Stream, so the story is a little deeper if you're willing to spend some time watching the Breakfast Stream on it. But Mal fainted this month. I know we've mentioned before, Mal's been doing allergy shots. She's been doing them many, many months at this point. At least 6, maybe 9. We might be closing in on a year, I don't know. But every week, she goes to the doctor to get allergy shots, so over time, she will not have allergies as much. It's not for peanuts, it's for grasses and weeds and things like that, because Mal tends to have pretty bad allergies. And they start you off on little doses, and then they gradually increase it. And they had increased it a little bit for Mal, and then she started having reactions, so they're like, oh, they would come back down and then spread it out even further. And a week or so ago, Mal had the shot, and they keep her there for 30 minutes to make sure she's okay, and then they allow her to go. And she had driven herself, because she always drives herself, and she had been sitting there, and then she said it was like 15 minutes into, waiting after the shot, she started to feel like not great, and she got up and went to tell somebody, and then the next thing she knew, she was waking up like in someone's arms, and she had fainted. And that's obviously very alarming. She called me, and she started the call with like, "Okay, I'm okay, don't be alarmed," which is a little bit of an alarming thing to hear. She said, I fainted at the doctor's, and they concluded that it wasn't from the shot. They don't think that she had any sort of a reaction to that. They said it was just from the experience. Some people faint from needles, and Mal does have a history of that. There's a word for it. Vasovagal? I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But Mal has that sort of response and has a history of that, and they concluded, like, that's what happened. Mal was recounting it a little bit, and again, the Breakfast Stream goes into a little more detail, but she said that she felt a little weird, which kind of started an anxiety circle because it's like, oh, I feel weird. Oh, am I having an allergic reaction? Oh God, what if I am? Oh no. And then that just builds. But yeah, actually it was just a response to getting the shot in the first place. So Chaz was a hero, drove me to the doctor's so I could then drive Mao and our car home. And, you know, Mao's not going to be able to do that on her own for a little bit. They're going to want someone to go with her. So, you know, myself or Dan or someone else in the Raleigh Collective will have to take her to her shots for a little bit to make sure that she's actually doing okay. I know it was a bullet point for me last month, but we have continued to do cook meals together, which has been really, really great. Every other week is date night, but the weeks in between, we're dedicating a night a week to just trying to prepare something together. A lot of fun. I mean, we cook at home anyway, but like this is a little different because it's a very dedicated, like, all right, we're going to plan something. It's not, we're not going to just like pick up a frozen pizza or something at Costco and be like, this is what we're actually going to like prepare something. And it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. And the other thing that I did last month that I continued to do this month was I filled all my rings. I filled all my rings again. So 2 months down. I really want to try and do it for an entire year. I'm worried that I'm going to miss something at some point, and I have to just kind of forgive myself if I do. But so far, so good. 1/6 of the year down. And the final thing, and I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going back to Myrtle Beach. And the reason I'm going back to Myrtle Beach is that the Myrtle Beach Marathon is happening, and Chaz and Jeff are participating. So Chaz is planning to do the full marathon, Jeff is doing the half marathon, and because it takes place in Myrtle Beach, it's a wonderful opportunity for me to go because that's where my family's at. So we're going to be doing that this coming weekend. There will definitely be a dedicated vlog for that, so be on the lookout for that. And I hope we have fun. I hope they do well and, you know, meet the goals that they're setting for themselves, and it should be a fun time. And that's it. So I think that this is fun. I think this is a fun format. It's a quick way of giving you what would have been a month's worth of vlogs, but in just like, you know, 15 to 20 minutes. So continue to let me know how you feel about this, and if there's something maybe that's missing from these that you want to see. Maybe there's something that you're like, I would like you to talk about this or mention this or something like that. Feel free to let me know in the comments on this video. And I know some of you will just want to be like, how's Kep? Kep's doing well. He's still doing good. You know, it's one of those things that for him, it'll be like he's doing good until he's not. But right now, we're just grateful that he is doing well. He had everything happen at the start of April. So by the time we get to the next wrap-up video, it'll have been just about a year. I'm grateful he's still with us. I really am. He's a treasure. I love him very much. Okay, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see you soon for, I guess, the Myrtle Beach Marathon. Let's meet back soon, shall we?